Hello guys, it's Stephen here, back with a transfer target video. Yes, I know how much you all love your transfer gossip, and today there was two big bits of absolutely huge transfer news. Well, one bigger than the other that I couldn't ignore. I actually had another video scheduled to go out today because I'm going out tonight to see Hans Zimmer, the composer, live at the MBN Arena. So this is going to be a very quick video because I wanted to get this out because I couldn't really ignore it. Tomorrow there'll be a video on left back options, so keep an open eye for that one. But today basically broke online that City allegedly are after Atletico Madrid's Saul Niguez. And also Ben Chilwell, allegedly. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Don't forget as well, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get videos every single day about Manchester City Football Club. What more could you want? And hopefully try and keep you sane during the international break. But today, as I said, we're going to look at some transfer news, because why not? Because in particular, this first rumour of Saul Niguez got me really excited. Is it Saul or Sal? I'll be saying Sal. I'm going to say that. I don't even know if it's Niguez either, but correct me in the comments below. Saul is one of my favourite midfielders in Europe. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And the rumours are, according to ESPN, at least, and I'm checking my notes over here, apparently, according to a source at ESPN, they were told he can't stay at Atletico more and everything's getting very complicated for them. Manchester City are making a big moves to try and sign the player, and this would be music to my ears because I think he's absolutely fantastic. Now, we all know, only I think it was a year and a half ago, something like that, he signed an absolutely huge, I think it was like a 10-year contract, something like that. Let me just double check. Yeah, no, he signed in 2017 a 9-year contract, which is absolutely crazy, showing his love for the club, which is always a bit optimistic, because like what Alan Pardew did, like a 10-year contract at Newcastle, it was never going to happen. But basically, already he's thinking of leaving because his situation has become untenable, according to some sources and ESPN. And also, Atletico Madrid need to raise some money for transfers themselves, and he's one of the most sellable, if not the most sellable, alongside Griezmann, asset that they've got, with Barcelona also pursuing him. Now, according to these sources, once again, Atletico were eager to hold out for around 120 million euros, which is absolutely astronomical, but could settle for a fee of around 80 million euros, only 80 million euros. But for me, he'd actually be worth that because he's a fantastic player. He's a perfect midfielder for me. Now, a lot of people will say, don't we need an actual proper central defensive midfielder there? And I would agree on that front. I will say, in counter to that, I think he's the kind of person who can play just about anywhere. Now, I think he reminds me a lot of Fernandinho in terms of when he came to the club, he was more of a number 8, attacking midfielder. He kind of got forward, did a bit of box-to-box stuff, and eventually got more and more deep as he kind of basically became the right-hand man to sweep up after Yaya Toure burst forward. And Fernandinho learned the role as his experience changed. He got more and more accomplished there and eventually became a defensive midfielder, full stop. And he still has that ability to drive forward. But Saul Niguez reminds me of that as well. He's essentially capable of doing absolutely everything. He has everything you need to play in that position. He's mobile, he's a good size, he's also a little bit taller than Fernandinho, I think, and he also has that kind of like Simeone kind of vibe to him. Obviously, he plays for Atletico Madrid, so any player that plays for Atletico Madrid has to work really hard by default, and they also have to be a bit nasty and a bit tough. There are absolutely no problems about his defensive ability. I think he's a fantastic player with basically a bit of bite to his game. He can also get forward. He's good for like 10 goals a season, maybe from midfield. He's got an incredible range of passing, and he's pretty press resistant as well. He can twist and turn from defence, he can glide past people and burst forward. Essentially, I think he's the complete midfielder. I really rate him. I think he's genuinely a potential successor to Fernandinho stylistically. Yes, there's definitely loads for him to learn in the number 6 role if he spends more time there, but there's no reason why someone like Guardiola couldn't teach him. People said not everyone is capable of doing what Fernandinho did in terms of adapting to a new role, and I agree with that. But I would say, to counter that, it can be done, and it has been done, so why can't it happen again? Now, if Delph last season could be turned into a title-winning left-back, even if it was just for a year, and if Zinchenko this season can go through from a genuinely poor left-back to one that actually looks really good, and he was an attacking midfielder at one point, then why can't a number 8 become a number 6, especially a number 8 that's already played there? Yes, it's true that he doesn't play as a number 6 for Atletico usually, but in general, it doesn't mean he can't do it. And I think what Guardiola requires is not just someone who's going to destroy you, can sit deep. You want someone who essentially can do a bit of everything. And that's what makes Fernandinho so special in terms of how he launches attacks from deep. And he can also drive forward and has a bit of physicality. And I think that's why Saul would really suit this team. Maybe the only thing he doesn't quite have yet is that kind of like match dictating kind of skill in terms of like Jorginho and Yaya Toure had it when he got older as well. But that could just come with age and experience. Once again, I mentioned Yaya there. When he was younger, he didn't kind of sit deep and pick the ball off centre-backs anywhere near as much as he did as a Manchester City player. And that comes from experience, it comes from confidence with the position and the role. And there's nothing to say he couldn't do that. Technically, he's more than good enough to suit it. And given the fact that the best manager in the world for coaching midfielders, Guardiola, wants him, if he came to Manchester City, it'd be absolutely huge. He also has absolutely loads of experience for a 24-year-old. He's been at the top of the game for ages now, and he's got a habit of delivering in the biggest games. I love him. I absolutely love him. Do I think this will happen? I hope so. I absolutely hope so. I think it's fantastic. He would solve so many problems and he'd become an absolute beast at Manchester City Football Club. I don't know if it'll happen, but the rumours are nice and strong. Fingers crossed this is something that we'll actually see happen in the summer, because I think potentially he'd solve that position for 10 years at very, very best. And second after that, Ben Chilwell. Now this has come from a very kind of questionable source. I think it's a fan site called Foxes of Leicester. Foxes of Leicester, let me have a look. Yeah, they've got an exclusive saying Ben Chilwell to City is a done deal. Now, this is from their own reporters who've had the source there, and it could be some fan gossip, but I'll report on it anyway because we'll see where this goes. Now, they've said that City basically nipped in and got this deal pretty much done with Leicester, essentially going to sign Kieran Tierney in the long run as his replacement with Chilwell, Manchester bound. What do I make of this? It's come from a really tenuous source, essentially a fan who's heard a bit of a rumour, and they've gone for the exclusive thing, and they've probably got their 5 minutes of fame there on Twitter. It could be true. It generally could be true, but I don't know. Calcio Mercato, obviously a big Italian source, said Liverpool are ready to battle for City for the signature of Leicester fullback Ben Chilwell, which could be true once again. What do I take on Ben Chilwell? Well, in general, I think he's a good player. I'm not sure if he's quite the high-end special level, but I could be underplaying him because he's English and he's not at a glamorous club. I think if he was called Ben Chilwellinho, I think it's probably fair to say we'd all be a little bit more excited, because there is an element to that. Like, people do get excited more from overseas. Well, having said that, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, people love him, so maybe it isn't that, and I'm being a little bit harsh there. But I do like Chilwell in general. I think he's a good player. I'm just not excited by him. I don't know why. I just can't get excited by him. He seems very good in terms of getting forward. I don't think he's special on the ball, but he is very used to being the outlet. He's one of the most competent passes for Leicester, and often uses an out ball when they're passing it about, and he has often the most passes in the team. So he's very comfortable at receiving the ball and passing it. Got all the energy as you expect from a modern fullback, and he likes to get forward and distribute the ball about. So he'd be very comfortable playing as a modern fullback for Manchester City. And given the fact that Zinchenko and Delph and Mendy, there's a bit of kind of hoo-ha around them at the moment. I'll go more into that in tomorrow's video, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Ben Chilwell would plug some gaps there. I can't imagine he'd be cheap though. I'm sure, given the fact we pay 50 million or whatever for Mendy and for Walker, Leicester would want something very similar. I mean, they might just go for like 40 or something. That's a guess. They might get Kieran Tierney for 15 to 20 million from Celtic and think, you know what, we've got a defender here that's, we think, just as good potentially, who knows the manager in Brendan Rodgers. We made a massive profit to help bolster our squad. It could be that situation. I'm not necessarily excited by Chilwell, but I can see us going for a left back this summer. Back onto Saul Niguez, I'd be really excited by this. I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. And I think it's really clear now that in general, we need a midfielder or two, because I think Fernandinho will be gone in a year and a half. David Silva could be gone in a year and a half in terms of, I say gone, they might still be at the club, but their influence and their importance will not be at the same level. So that's two midfielders there who are very senior. Saul could really tick that box. Then obviously we've got doubts over the future of Ilkay Gundogan. That could be another person that we need to replace potentially, as well as David Silva. So Foden could be one of them. But essentially we're going to start having to rebuild this slightly aging team. And Saul could do that, and Ben Chilwell's also young. I do like the fact that in general we tend to sign younger players because it future proofs us in case of any potential transfer bans and all that kind of nonsense. But anyway, just a quick video before I go out to watch the live music of Hans Zimmer at the Allianz Arena. I'm so excited, guys. Let me know what you make of all these rumours. Who do you want to see at Manchester City Football Club? There's loads of possible signings, isn't there? I don't even know where to start with who I want Manchester City. I'll do videos on it. Don't forget, I've done 5 dream transfer target signings actually, so I do know who I want. I'm talking bullshit. Go watch that video. Look out for tomorrow for the left back video, and also go and check out my quadruple video from yesterday. Loads of content at the moment. Don't forget as well, all these people scrolling down the right, these are my patrons to keep this channel going. Absolute heroes. If you want to get involved, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy that music. Make sure if you're new to this channel, you hit that subscribe button. Get in the comments below and let me know your opinions on today's video and the topics and the players and that kind of stuff. I've been Stephen, and I'll see you soon.